Hi, I'm Marcel Speaking of Sports. Let me make this perfectly clear. I am 100% behind the NFL players as far as this labor disagreement is concerned. Here's a sport where the average career expectancy is 5 to 7 years. A player can be cut at any time without that player getting paid because of the lack of guarantee contracts. Overall revenue increases year after year, and it has clearly taken over as this country's most popular sport. Well, you think the owners of these teams, who are all millionaires by any standard, would be able to keep their sport from falling into the situation it currently is in? There is so much shared and unshared revenue among the owners, one cannot blame the players for wanting to have the team's financial books opened in order to justify the owner's request for the players to give back money. Here's something to think about. When someone offers to give you a set price for your service as opposed to giving you a percentage of the revenue, you have to wonder. A set price means that no matter how much a team makes, the players' money stays the same. Now, although that's okay for most of us who receive salaries, remember, players in professional sports for the most part are members of a players' union that negotiates for them. And if percentage increases are a part of the collective bargaining agreement, that's the CBA, between the owners and the union, well, that stipulation has to be carried out for the length of that agreement. The problem arises when a new agreement has to be established. Why would the players want to give back incentives in a profession that nets huge increases for them as well as their owners year after year after year? Now, if anything, when faced with a decision, one would opt to keep the same incentives. Well, that's what the players wanted. The owners' demand for givebacks caused the players' request for the books to be open to show where the losses were. The owners' refusal to do so is the cause of this stalemate. Again, I'm all for the players, if for nothing else, that they only have 5 to 7 years to make their money. And finally, because I've never heard of a team owner who was broke. Now, speaking of owners, we're getting into my favorite time of the year. No, not March Madness. I'm talking about MLB, Major League Baseball. But I must confess, as a fan of the New York Mets, I'll have to look forward to more of the same ineptitude when it comes to results on the field. And that's mostly because of mismanagement of the team by its front office over a period of 5 years. Over the winter, the organization hired Sandy Alderson as the team's general manager. Alderson is an experienced front office executive who's had success in building competitive teams. However, due to existing long-term contracts left over from the previous front office, not to mention the continuing financial problems the team's owners face because of the Bernie Madoff scandal, this season is going to be a long wait and see what happens type of year. Now, the key element to be watched is what the team will do with star shortstop Jose Reyes. Now, I have always been of the opinion that Reyes, who's in the final year of his contract and no doubt will be looking for a huge deal if he has a good year, needed to have a veteran leadership around him in order for his full potential to be realized. Now, that leadership had to come from either a manager who pushed him to aim higher, aka Willie Randolph, or from a frontline player with universal respect, such as Derek Jeter or Chipper Jones, neither of which the Mets have on their roster. Now, Mets manager Terry Collins is the type of manager who has been known to forcefully demand his players to act as professionals. Yet there's the feeling that he's not the type of manager who's suited for the scrutiny of New York. Well, why is he the manager? Could it be because he's the one who will get Reyes to be the player he can be in order for the team to be better able to trade their shortstop in the middle of the season to a team that needs one? Say the Boston Red Sox? The Met owners certainly are going to have to hold on to as much money as they can because of the uncertainty with their lawsuit. So I don't see them giving Reyes a big contract. Also, take into effect the fact that despite his lean years, Reyes is a lightning rod for the fans that either love or hate him. These two factors will combine to add to what will be an interesting year at Citi Field. I'm Marcel Speaking of Sports. See you next time.